bag. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. Beats, leave it in the street.
The coach take the Lincoln Tunnel through Weehawken, through Secaucus, across the Hackensack River, and you'll arrive, as we have, at MetLife Stadium at East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Come on out here. Come get some. Come get some.
Darnold on first down. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And he will be taken down inside the Buffalo 20. A big play there on the first play of the game. And even 60 yards. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10.
You're going to see me in your nightmare. 44's the mic. 47.
Darnold from the gun. Eluding the pressure right. He'll try and run it. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Darnold. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at the 20.
Check safety. Slam. Motion. Pump. 57.
They'll run with Taylor. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Hey, hold. 56.
On 2nd and 11 now. Allen. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And he brings this one back. It's a pick-6 and a Jet touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Now Allen to try again after the pick-6. Allen hit. He lost the football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
So following the fumble recovery, here's Darnold. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. They'll run for it with Martin. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jets will extend their lead. Extra point splits the uprights. And it's now 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Not today. Switch.
Gun. Regular.
Allen. Finding Knox there, complete. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football, and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. On play action, Allen. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
This is taken around the 12. There he goes, right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. What a run that was. 88 yards on the punt return. And the Jets will extend their lead. A lot of times they want this guy just to try to flip field position. He flipped it all the way into the end zone.
Yeah, the rule of thumb is, can you pick up 10 yards? That's getting a 1st down. Instead, he takes it all the way and provides a big spark for his team.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Pull it together.
All 52.
Throwing again. Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jordan Willis able to record his 5th sack of the season.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Hey, high 7.
Here we go, D. Right there.
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. And he completes it to the tight end, Knox. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. and reading your keys. You always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Play action. Now it's Allen. He'll let it go deep for Foster. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. On play action, Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Robert Quinn make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. On 3rd and long, it's Allen. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And this will be taken at the 13. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. Here's a run on 1st down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Back to throw, Darnold. Flush to his right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Ed Oliver, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Second quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. Second quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. 3rd and long, it's Darnold. Throw complete to Herndon. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
To return is Taylor. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. So good field position for the Bills as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. They'll run on 1st down. It's Taylor. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, in on the stop.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 45 on 2nd down. Allen, he'll find Taylor. That's complete. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Bills on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Here's Taylor, and he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
54.
Hey, watch the ball, watch the ball.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
Pass.
Watch the pass. Here we go.
So they're going for it, and here's Allen. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Here's Martin as they begin on the ground. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go.
On 2nd and 9, Darnold dancing to his left. And that's incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Watch the motion. 47, lady. 47. Check, 47.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. The throw on target to his receiver, McKenzie. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 41. Now it's Darnold. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Alex Anzalone. He brought the pressure on the blitz, and he gets there for a loss of 12. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. The throw by Darnold, hauled in by the tight end Herndon.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Darnold. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Garyon Conley. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
Well, I tell you, you can't fault the pass protection here. He had all day to throw, and he just couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. And quarterbacks will tell you that after a while, they start getting antsy back there. So this is just a great job defensively to stay with these receivers as long as they did.
Check, Mike 57. Watch the screen.
Hey, Alpha.
Mike's 57. 57's right. Hey, pick your game up.
So after the INT, it's Allen. He'll let it go deep for Foster, and that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
You got nothing today. You got nothing.
Allen off the play fake. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Darnold. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet first down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On first down, it's Darnold. He's going to air one out for Anderson. This is caught. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Robbie Anderson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Jets will extend their lead. No problem there on the extra point. And a rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. A first update now from Cincinnati. And it's now a 2-touchdown advantage for the Bengals. And we'll be sure to keep an eye on that one as we go along here. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
A quick pass out to Aguilar. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And he's going to be taken down. Out here with a penalty flag on the field. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Get that ball. Get that. Hey, tight.
Smooth. Let's pick it up. It's our time, guys.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 28-7 ball game. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Set the tone, defense. Let's go. Both sevens to my touch.
To throw is Darnold. He'll get this into the hands of Braxton Berrios. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Here we go, D.
A first down throw, Darnold. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Darnold. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Darnold. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Check.
Here we go.
Allen going to throw again. He'll let it go deep for Foster. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 30. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
and I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too, and they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Allen. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. And he'll be... Taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad. There's more coming. There's more where it came from.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. So the shotgun snap to Allen. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
You might be getting tired of seeing me. 57's low.
Hey, check.
57's the mark. 57.
From the gun, it's Allen. And that will be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Fielded just inside the 30. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And out will come the offense as they take over. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense.
Well, he's got daylight. It's a foot race. All the way in. Touchdown, New York. Christian McCaffrey, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Jets will extend their lead. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the 3rd quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done. It's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Let's make these 56.
snap comes at 1, and it's Allen. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jordan Willis in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. He will not go down.
Have to retake those ankles.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And last time out, another touchdown. I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
by
the time we have to
positive.
leave the booth.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
40 seconds to Mike. 40 seconds to Mike. All right. Here we go. Let's go, D. Let's go. Zoom, fellas. Let's go. 4 seconds to Mike. 4 seconds to Mike. I know.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Finding Green complete. And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here's Allen. Finding Knox there, complete. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. On play action, Allen. He gets this into the hands of Taylor.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now Allen. And that is incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. Now this time, Allen will throw. Got an open man, it's Foster. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. He'll let it go deep for Foster. It's caught inside the 25. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Watch the screen.
5.
Now Allen from the gun, he'll throw. Caught by Montgomery. Call it a pickup of 7, and just like that, it's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions. Because the game certainly...
And that's caught inside the 30. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Robbie Anderson, 81 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by one more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And they will take a knee here. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
He gets this away as he'll wisely, I'd say, angle this to the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 10.
25, check 25, check 25.
Here's McCaffrey. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. Give him 4 yards on the play, and that will lead us into the 2-minute warning. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Taylor now returning it. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt. 3 on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, some